Well, hello, and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel, Charlie B. So what are we up to today? Well, today I am answering that age-old question again of what's for dinner. You know, I think the hardest thing as an adult is to figure out what I'm making for dinner every night. It's actually rather difficult. But today we are going to be talking about using leftovers, and especially our Thanksgiving or Christmas leftovers when you have a turkey, chicken, or even a duck or a goose or any type of fowl that you want to cook. So come with me and I'll go over what we're doing. So this will be all leftover stuff. Okay, how about that? See you in a minute. Oh, I've already started some of the stuff because this is leftovers. In my haste, I forgot to tell you what we're actually going to be making. It's going to be a revamp on chicken and waffles. However, we're going to be using potatoes for the waffle batter, and we're going to be using the chickens that I had left over the other day. So, and of course, the gravy and all the other yummy, yummy stuff. So come along, and oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate it when you do. And I very much appreciate my subscribers, my followers, and my viewers, and especially also the people that leave comments. Now let's get back to it. I'll get you right there. So here we have a skillet. I deboned the chicken that I had. Here are the bones and the skins. I literally put them in with the broth that I had left from the chicken and added some more water and let them simmer down for about 2 hours today because I wanted some really good gravy mix. I have about 4 cups here of what came out. Lots of seasonings and spices because it was all over the wonderful chicken that we had the other day. Actually, I posted that last week, if I'm not mistaken. It was an absolute amazing meal. So now that you've seen my chicken that was deboned, and that's a deboned chicken, these are the bones and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of the way. Going to put the chicken, oops, sorry for the noise, up here in the microwave just to get it out of my way. Our next item is we're going to be starting with 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Now, this is just one that I bought. The 1/4 cup is still in there. And how we're going to do this is, let me get some more lights on. Okay, so we have our 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And I'm going to just add a little bit of water. Just enough to get a paste going. So as I just add water, I just keep stirring, and I'll see if I need to add more water or more cornstarch, because sometimes that happens. Now you want to get your broth very good and hot. Before you go to pour this in, because you want it to definitely. But this is what I have it. It's almost like the consistency of milk. I find it better results when I have it a little bit runny and not quite like paste, because I can mix it up better and it goes in much better. And then if I have to, I can always add more and just keep working it until I get the gravy, the consistency that I want. Unfortunately, I don't always know how many cups I have. I did measure this out so I could tell you. And I always end up just starting off with 1/4 cup and going from there. I have to pull out some of these bones that are still in there. That's how I always tell my kids, you know it's homemade, there's bones in it. But we'll be back when we go to pour this in once I get this hot. Okay, so we got this good and hot. It's not boiling, but it's pretty warm. I'm going to turn it down to low, and I'm just going to slowly pour this in. The mixture of the cornstarch and water. Sorry, it totally left my brain. I'm going to definitely be stirring this as I go. Now, if you don't stir it, now you can not worry about this, but you will get, it can get lumpy like this. You get a lump in it, but it's all right. You can literally stir that out. And if you can't, you can always strain it out, which I've been known to do that occasionally. I just keep mixing it until it goes smooth. Now, once again, being that this is a prepper channel, I will have to tell you, I keep every spice that I use in double, more than likely in triplicate, along with extra cornstarch, extra flour. And even though we have a well, I even keep bottled water on hand. So that's just some food for thought. So I'm going to go ahead and keep stirring this and getting the lumps out of it. Now, what I suggest, if you don't want all these lumps, is to pour very slowly and be stirring. As you can already see, it's already starting to go down. The lumps are starting to disappear as I push them out. I'm going to let this get good and thick, and we'll be back. And we'll talk about adding water and how thick you want your gravy, because gravy is kind of at everybody's taste. I like mine fairly thick. And yes, there is a lot of fat and grease on this from the chicken skin, but I like this. I like the taste of it. And most people rave about how good the gravy is. But let me keep mixing this, and we will be back. Now that our gravy is sitting there, slowly combining its flavors and actually delumping itself, I'm going to start off with 2 cups of mashed potatoes. I'm going to be very honest. I used instant mashed potatoes today because I do not have any leftover potatoes. So, but I wanted to show you this and use this as a great what's for dinner. So what we're going to mix in with our 2 cups of mashed potatoes, they taste better when they're fresh, homemade mashed potatoes. I'm going to take 1/4 cup of flour and 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder. Just a little bit, and I'm going to mix that all together. I'm going to set this aside here for a second. Now we're going to take our mashed potatoes, and I'm going to take 2 eggs. These are for my chickens. And I'm going to mix that in very good together. Now I've got my waffle maker here heating up a little bit. And then I'll turn it up once I get closer to make sure it hits the actual temperature in order to make waffles. Now this is a very, very, very old waffle maker. One of these guys and whip it up even better. Now these are going to be a little runny, and that's fine. You kind of want it to get like pancake batter in order to be able to make the waffles out of the potatoes and the eggs. So I got those bit up really good. Now I'm going to take my flour and baking powder mix, and I'm just going to drop it in there a little bit at a time and just start mixing it. Now, it's very hard for me to tell you how much you're supposed to use of milk, salt, and pepper, because that's kind of up to you and how thin you want your batter. Now, I also use this to make potato pancakes, except I don't normally put a baking powder in it. Okay, so this is pretty thick with the flour mixture in it. And we need to start thinning this out because that's way, way too thick to make waffles out of it. Now, so far I've used about, I'm going to guess about 1/3 of a cup. Now, when you've got homemade mashed potatoes, it depends on how thin yours were to begin with or how thick they were. So that's something that you've got to figure out, how much milk that you need to put in it. Okay, I definitely need to put more in this, but you want to take your time doing this because you don't want to end up with a really runny mess, because then you'll have to add a lot more flour, or if you have extra leftover potatoes, you can add more to that. So far I've got about 2/3 cup of milk in here. And when I go to put this on, I actually already did it. I sprayed some cooking spray on that. Now you could also take butter and just smear it everywhere with it. I think this is a good consistency for the waffles, the potato waffles. I'm going to continue to stir those to make sure it's all mixed in, because if I find a clump or anything else in there, I need to make sure it's mixed in. And then I'd end up having to add a little bit more milk. I'm also going to add a little salt and pepper to these guys, which may sound a little strange for waffles, but we like our salt and pepper on our potato waffles. And again, that's always to taste. You want to get this heating up to the correct temperature. I'm surprised this poor old thing works. Actually, when I started it, because I hadn't used it in so long, it literally started smoking. I had to set it outside. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the cooking spray. And we're going to let this get hot. And I'm going to continue to stir this up to make sure there's no lumps. Feels very, very hot. So once this gets back, once this gets heated, we'll come back and I will put the potato waffle on here. And while our waffle iron is heating, this is what our gravy looks like. I went ahead and added about another 1/4 cup of milk to it. You can see we don't have any lumps. Just pretty much took care of itself. And I'm going to go ahead and dump my chicken in here. And then that can get good and hot. This chicken was really amazing when I had it the other day. Just going to get that in there. And we'll be back to stir this in a little bit more. I'm going to check the waffle iron. It looks like it's definitely getting hot. So I'm going to move you back over there. This has been setting for a little while, and it's still good. I like the consistency. This is smoking again. Woo! Got hot. Might need to turn that down. Okay. I said a very, very old waffle iron, but I decided I wanted this to be a little bit thinner, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more milk to this. So now I've got about 3/4 cup of milk in here. And I'm letting that cool off because I don't know if the temperature's set anymore right. That's all right. We're going to fake it till we make it. There we go. I'm liking this consistency even better. I'm closing that up, and we'll see what we get when we pull it out here in a minute. And here is our potato waffle. Very, very good. It's awesome. Now, if you want your potato waffle to be a little fluffier, you just add more baking soda to it, or actually add more baking powder. If you add baking soda, you also need to add a little bit of salt. So I'm getting this good and stirred around, and we're going to put this. I'm going to get it plated up. As you can see, there's the gravy. Yeah, I'm cooking another waffle there. Here's our chicken. I'm going to get some more gravy there. We'll be back, and I will be doing a taste test. Okay, so this is my plate. The plate that you saw me making up was my husband's first. And I'm going to be very honest with you. This was the first time I've ever made these. I've made potato pancakes before, but I never made it like this so I can make a waffle. So what I think I'm going to do next time is add maybe half a teaspoon of baking powder. So they'll be a little bit more fluffy. And my husband just told me I outdid myself.
Phenomenal. Love it.
Oh, there you go. So I'm going to have a taste test. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, yeah. That is amazing. So this is what you can do with your leftover turkey and mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. My Lord. This is amazing. What can I say? It's amazing. So, well, thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this recipe. And remember, please like, share, and subscribe, and this can save you a lot of work for your leftovers. Have it in the morning, have it in the evening, have it at lunchtime, have it anytime you want, because it's potatoes, and it's waffles, and it's turkey or chicken or duck or any kind of game fowl that you want to use. So remember, please like, share, and subscribe. Charlie B signing out, and I got to clean up this mess.